What's going on, guys? Alexander Thomas here. Welcome to the 1 Week of Streams. This is going to be Thursday stream or Wednesday stream. It's titled Tribute to the Gods. Alright, so here's how this is going to work. This deck works. The object of this entire deck is to tribute to the gods. And there are quite a few possible commanders in this set for this. And there's a whole lot of other things I could actually use for this. Turn that off now. Alright, so here is how this deck works. And I'll get to it when we get to it here. The objective is basically to tribute. Now there's a bunch of different, there's a few, I think 2 different abilities that come in this set. We've got the Tribute, which is sacrifice things, and then there's also Tribute. There's also different types of things. We'll get to it. First thing is there are a couple of emblems this set comes with. What is this is the first one, Tribute. It comes automatically into the set. So when you play a Tribute Subtext Planeswalker, there's specific ones that say that, and we'll get to it in a little bit. They automatically get their matching emblem, and then those Planeswalkers cannot be attacked. So the bonus thing for this is they can't be attacked. It doesn't matter what it has. But the emblems are really powerful for this. So this set could be pretty insane if you really look at it. This is the first Planeswalker in the set called Tribute. As it says, the Tribute. So like here, that's Tribute. It says Tribute here. Am I not showing this? Oh, I just realized it does not. It's not actually showing. My bad. I didn't realize the thing wasn't showing. Back for a second here. Here's the emblem that whenever you Tribute, you play a Tribute Subtext Planeswalker, like the ones you just saw. They automatically get the matching emblem. We'll get to matching emblems later in this episode, or this video. And they can't be attacked. So basically, Tribute Planeswalkers have 2 main special abilities. They cannot be attacked, period. And they can also, and their emblems do a lot for the game, and you'll understand that in a little bit. For example, you see that Sunless Pegasus Master allows you to create +2 to create a 3/3 Pegasus with flying, or you can use 0 to create 3 of them, or you can -3 and destroy target creature. Now, there is a special thing about the Tribute Planeswalkers, though. Tribute Planeswalkers must, in order to use a ability of a Planeswalker that has Tribute, you must sacrifice a creature every time you do it. Here's the 3/3 Pegasus. That doesn't really matter, but here's the emblem for it. Yeah, each of these emblems specifically say that it is. In order to use an ability of Sunless Pegasus Master, you must sacrifice a creature. And at the beginning of your turn, though, you get a 3/3 Pegasus with flying. Tapped. That is the big point. It does enter tapped. So it's a good grief. I get 3/3 Pegasus each turn, and I can just sacrifice them immediately. Because according to the effects, and I might actually have to edit this a little bit, you can sacrifice a creature that's tapped. There's no rule that says that. But that's one of the things. We got the next one here, which is the next Planeswalker that has Tribute. It's an uncommon one. You can +4 to deal 1 damage to all targets you don't control. this is ridiculous. Okay, so that means everything that your opponent has that can take damage takes 1 point of damage, including it's all targets you don't control. So unfortunately, it also means the opponent loses 1 life as well. Probably should have put that somewhere here, but it is yes. You can also zero it to get a 0/4 Ox with double strike. Wow. An Ox with double strike. It's a 0/4, so regularly and honestly with this set, if I were adding cards to this that were, for instance, like, the creature gets +3/+0 against first strike, it's basically it might as well be acting as a 6/4 creature. I can also exile any non-land permanent. I spelled permanent wrong here. I'm very sure that's not how permanent is spelled. With mana cost 4 or less. And there is a reason for that. It's a -2 ability. But plus, you basically can do it twice. And you'll get to the emblem that matches with. And it is Corrodes Fire and Rage. In order to use an ability of this Fire of Ox with sacrifice a creature, and when a creature that you don't control dies, create a 0/4 Ox with double strike. So you can create a bunch of Oxes, which is pretty big. It's a pretty big thing for this thing. Double strike, a 0/4 double strike creature doesn't really make much sense, and I don't recall whether there's any things that actually upgrade creatures. And here's a 0/4 Ox. That's actually pretty cool, right? Alright, next one here. Queen of Lands. This is probably the most useless planeswalkers in the history of Magic. Because in order to use the Queen of Lands, you must sacrifice a creature. I think that's what it is. But you can so your 0 abilities tap all opponent creatures with power 2 or more mana cost. And they don't untap to the next untap. And they can destroy all creatures with and -5 is destroy all creatures with 3 or less mana. So basically you can tap them all, or you can destroy them all. Alright, so does that thing create spirits? Oh, it itself doesn't, but there is a card that does. This could be potentially one of the commanders. Wait, is it? When you tribute a creature, create a copy of this that's not legendary. Oh my gosh. Talk about it. And there's the 2/1/1 spirits of flying. Light creatures flying, we're getting to that. You can also -5 it to destroy 7 non-land permanents. Up to 7 non-land permanents. So you don't have to sort it. It's a little bit expensive, and that is it. Glory of the Gods effect is, in order to use the ability, you have to sacrifice a creature. You must sacrifice a creature. So in this creature, for this one, originally my idea was basically to put this as a possible commander, but it's not. It cannot be a commander. Honestly, that would be ridiculous as a commander. And there's other cards in here that are, to be honest, very, very ridiculous. If you really think about it, when we get to them, you'll see why. I don't think I have it. So now we get to the set. Some points of the set. We got a deep. So the set has. Let me just say it. Spirits, demons, angels, birds, fishes, and foxes. And I think it's got It's also got Pegasus and something else. I think something else. There's something else in there. Like, this is a demon. The whole objective of this thing says tribute. Now, the most creatures in this set, the objective would be for using tribute, which you would sacrifice a creature, and then you would be able to use something else. Like, for example, if you tributed Hail Monster, which means you actually sacrificed a creature, then it gains haste until end of turn. Not a very powerful creature at this point because it's only 3/1, but it's something you have to really work about. Alright, next one we got here. Ooh, Winged Demon. That's creepy. Once again, you can tribute a creature to play as you play Winged. Now, tributing is an additional cost, so you can't just say, "Okay, I'm going to tribute a creature. It's on the field now." No, that's not the way it works. You pay the mana cost and you tribute a creature, and you don't have to tribute a creature. And when you do tribute this creature, you place a flying counter. That was something introduced in a couple sets ago for Magic the Gathering. Flying counters basically means it has flying, and it can be removed for certain effects. Let's see, the next one we got here is Angel of the Blind. It's a 2-cost creature. You can tribute. Whenever you tribute Angel of the Blind, you can place a 1 counter. It means it's a 3/3 without flying, so it's not really that great. You have to sacrifice a creature in order to do that, so it's not like the biggest thing in the world. We got Angel of Time. There's a lot of things like this. This one does have flying. You tribute, you may sacrifice a creature in additional mana cost. If you tribute Angel of Time, place a creature you don't control into its controller's hand. Gosh, it's a 4-cost creature flying, and it has 3/3, and it's a common. Talk about ridiculous. I may have to go back and lower these things down a little bit, so this might be a 2/2 instead. If you guys think any of these cards are ridiculously powerful, feel free to put in the comments below any cards you think are too powerful. And I'll respond to the comment and possibly even change the card. Knighted Bird. It has tribute, and whenever you tribute Knighted Bird, it gains haste until end of turn. It's a 1/3. It's not really powerful. It just has flying. Icebird. Oh. You contribute it to tap target creature. That's really not very powerful. And considering, unless you are playing to win the game this turn, it's not really that great of a card. Human Bird Knight. This officially is a 2-colored card, which might just be considered a gold. You contribute. Now, here's the thing. You contribute. When you tribute a creature with power 3 or more, or greater basically, create a tapped 2/2 blue spirit. This includes this creature. So basically you could have, basically you're paying 3 plus a red to get a blue spirit. I don't even know if I have a blue spirit, but it has to be power 3 or more. And also it has to be, you have to sacrifice a creature with power 3 or more for this effect. It's a common though, because it's not particularly powerful. Demon-headed bird. Okay, now we get to more advanced tribute. Tribute 2. This means you may sacrifice 2 creatures in addition to playing its mana cost. If you tributed Demon Bird, draw a card, then it gains haste until end of turn. So it is a 4/2 creature that gains haste. Something tells me that's like, yikes, you have really gone too far. Haven't seen very many. There's a few. There's very few in this set. All creatures lose flying until end of turn. Torrential downpour. Yep, so your creatures just lost flying. Congratulations. And that includes your creatures, so it's not exactly the best card. But, if you want to be attacked, if you're being attacked, and you want to be able to block creatures, it's a good thing to have. Blue Phoenix. Now, there are quite a few Phoenixes in the set. I forgot. That's a Phoenix here, I think. But the Phoenixes generally have something called like this. You may not tribute Blue Fox. What that means is you can't sacrifice it to pay for another card. However, you can sacrifice it because it's a different effect. So basically, if a player says, you sacrifice a creature, you can choose that creature to sacrifice. You can't use that creature to sacrifice for another one. And then all of them like that. Has flying, and if you have 3 Phoenixes, sacrifice them and summon Legendary Phoenix. Now, here's one thing about this. This is a commander deck. So, in Commander, you can only have one of any given card in your deck. And I don't believe there's anything for copies in this set. It's also kind of expensive. You get the Red Phoenix. Same thing. It actually really has exactly the same paying, other than it's 5/3 instead of... And it's a common. Okay, that's a little weird. It's a 5/3, and this one's a common, and then same thing effects. It's 5/3, big thing for it. Then you got Gold Phoenix. I think there's 4 Phoenixes from Correct 50. You can't tribute it, and it has flying. It's a 3/7 for 4. That's basically all it needs. Alright, now we got Legendary. Now, this is one of those creatures that could potentially be the commander for this set, for this deck. Here is what it does. So, if it is targeted by spells, or is destroy it, that's a little bit of it's an error on that. If it's targeted by a spell or destroyed, it doesn't need to be there. Return to the field at the beginning, tapped at the beginning of at the end of the next turn. This includes targeting alone or as part of a group. There's a big point here. So if I were to target everything on the field, or if I just target the Legendary Phoenix, it still comes back, and it's a 10/7 creature. Oh, yeah. Also as a bonus, you gain 5 life every time you do tribute. So we got a lot of stuff going on here with this one card. Yikes. So that is an insane card that could potentially be the commander. It is expensive unless you have 3 other Phoenixes, and you can only have 1 Phoenix land regularly, so sacrifice them and submit for your deck, hand, or graveyard. Can't be in exile, but it probably wouldn't be in it. However, there is a point to note. You can't use this effect if you are counting it as your commander, because that is not your deck. That is the command zone is not your deck. It's not your hand. It's not your graveyard. So you can't use it as commander if you count it for that. Alright, and we have now an eagle. Yeah, flying. It just has flying. The 2/1 eagle flying. Then we have lightning that was introduced by one of the creatures. One of the Planeswalkers. Alright, Old Pegasus. It's a Pegasus. When it attacks or blocks, it is sacrificed. It costs 4. Important thing is, when it attacks and is blocked or blocks, it is sacrificed. So I guess it's just an old little creature. It's expensive for it being a 4-cost creature. Maybe I'll lower that one down a little bit. Let's see. Winger. It has lifelink, flying, and tribute. Okay. You can sacrifice it, but at this point, it doesn't really give you anything. Unless you have one of the Planeswalkers or one of the things in your field, Tribute is just no reason to Tribute. It's just a 1/1 creature with flying in lifelink. Everyone costs 1. Cloud Pegasus. If you Tribute to this creature, it gains haste at the end of turn. It's flying and yeah, this is a decent card. And honestly, I don't know if I want to see I don't know if I want to see 4/3 Pegasus on turn 3 attack me. This is, by the way, a 3-card deck, so in case you hadn't figured that out by now. We got Waterfall Pegasus. That does not sound like a reason like that works. You can Tribute, and if you do, you can untap 2 lands. I got this card idea because of a card in regular Magic that says when it is blocked, you would tap 3 lands or something like that. And I was like, okay, well that makes sense to do it this way. It's a 2/2 of flying, and it doesn't cost a whole lot. Water Pegasus, oh my goodness. You can Tribute 3. We have a huge amount of tributes there. It has flying, vigilance, and haste. It only costs 5. If you Tribute it, you create a 3/3 Pegasus with flying, and it gains haste until the end of turn. It's a 6/7 creature. It already has haste, so gosh, talk about ridiculous. Glory Tribute. Okay. This is a weird card. It's an instant with Tribute. It's subtext Tribute. That means nothing really, but if you can sacrifice a creature, then you gain life equal to its power times 5. So let's see. Do I have a card in here? That might be a creature. That's not a card creature. I don't know. It doesn't matter. So I just closed it. So if you sacrifice a creature with it using this card, you gain 5 life for every single power it is. So if it's 1 power, you get 5. If it's 2 power, you get 10. This could be something that really could save you if you really needed to. It's a comment. It probably should be higher rated than that. I think honestly that probably makes more sense for that to be a little bit higher. Probably uncommon at least. Alright, next one we got Dark Pegasus. It's red. It has flying and death touch. There's not much to say about that. It just has flying and death touch. Then we got Overtopped, which is an instant, which requires you to sacrifice a creature first, and then target creature gets +0 plus X plus 0, where X is the sacrifice creature's power. So a 3/3 creature means you get, if you sacrifice a 3/3 creature, it becomes a 3/3 at +3 plus 0. It's a rare. I don't really. That could be pretty powerful, I guess. You could have like a creature that's 7 something, or even you could have a creature that's 10. Enraged Demon. It's a rare. It has Tribute 4. You might see why, though. Honestly, this is close. This could be pretty close to being a mythic creature. You tribute 4. 4 creatures. I don't care if they're all 1/1 shadow creatures, or whatever they are. You get 8 1/1 counter. So this creature then becomes a 12/13 creature. That's why it costs so much, and it has trample on top of it. So this is a game ender right here, if you really use that. A demon fish. I don't know why I put fishes in here, but it is. You contribute it, and if you do, it gains +1. It gains something against flying or death touch until end of turn. So it's an additional effect that you can put onto it and against flying or depth touch. Why would a fish have flying? I don't know. Tributed Pet. It's a demon. You can draw a card whenever if you tribute. Yeah, if you tribute. I think there's some cards in here that allow you to tribute creatures. Otherwise, it's just a card that doesn't really do anything. Alright, next one we got is Imini Demon. It gets X 1/1 counters when it starts off, and it has trample and double strike. Talk about goodbye to your life tokens. That's when the ends are crazy. We got another one here. We got Glorified Angel. There's some angels in this, quite a few angels in this set. You can pay 4, a 6, I should say. And I will point out this should be this is a creature. I just forgot to put the toughness. I might have Glorified Angel. Let me see if I can add that card real quickly here. Because it should have a power. Yeah, I powered it as 0/0. So basically, it's not a particularly great creature. It has flying and has vigilance, but it's not. So it's not bad. You can also pay 6 to give it double strike or shroud. Shroud means it can't be targeted by special abilities or abilities at all, unless it's a wiping field. Oh, okay. So we have some art. We have an artifact creature. Wait a minute. That's not part of my set. That's not part of this set. That's the wrong one. I forgot that every time you pick one. you actually have to go to the thing and change. Let's see. We haven't got that yet. There we go. Glorified Angel. That's where we were. Moving on to the next card. Tribute to the Demon. Okay, so you sacrifice X creatures and you just destroy X creatures. That's basically all it really does for that one. Okay, Angel Tribute. You can tribute X and you destroy X creatures. This literally has exactly the same effect as the Tribute to the Demon. The one difference is the mana cost. That's literally all it is. Oh, and it's also this one's an instant, isn't it? Nope, they're both sorceries. They're both the same. They both cost basically the same thing. All right, next one we got Wizard Controller. Gain control of a target creature until end of turn. And it's a common. Okay, well that sort of makes sense because if you really think about it, Act of Treason does exactly the same thing. Actually, it doesn't quite do exactly the same thing because it gives a haste. But the idea basically is the same thing. You gain control until the end of next of the turn. You gain control of a creature. Alright, now we get to Fire Angel Phoenix. So this is an Angel Phoenix. You must tribute a red creature in order to be able to tribute it. It gains haste and can be played at any time. So, good grief, this is going to be terrible. You get 5 damage coming right at you directly when you tribute a red creature. And I think there's several others similar to this. Bird Phoenix. Yeah, tribute a blue creature. It gains hexproof permanently and haste until end of turn. So basically it means it has hexproof as long as you have tributed a blue creature. If you didn't tribute a blue creature, too bad. It doesn't have hexproof. Nor haste. Demon Phoenix. You tribute a white creature. It has, oh my goodness. Cost 5. You tribute it. It's a flying, trample, and lifelink creature with 6/4, and it gains first strike permanently if you tribute. My goodness. What did I do? And it is a demon angel and a phoenix. Goodness. Some of these cards I made are like really ridiculous. Alright. Tribute Fireball. You tribute something and deal 2 damage to any target. You don't have to tribute, but you may, if you do. Tribute deals X damage, which X is a sacrifice creature's power. And it only costs 1. Talk about wow. It's off and on all the time. Problem is that means I have 0. Alright, moving on. Sun's Castle. If you would create a 3/3 Pegasus, create 2 of them instead. Double amount if you have. First Angel. There is a specific things about this. Now this can't be your commander because in order for it to be your commander, it has to be the 3 colors, and guess what? This is not. But it says, if you control the angels named First Angel, Second Angel, and Third Angel, you may sacrifice them in search for deck, graveyard, or exile for a legendary angel of 3. Not your command zone, because this could be something that also could be your commander. It has flying and lifelink. Second Angel, I believe, is red. Correctly. Yes. Second Angel is red. Same thing happens as flying at first strike. It's a 3/3. And Third Angel is a blue. It has Vigilance and Flying. It's a 5/5. And then you can sacrifice them all if you want to, if you can get it, and get Legendary Angel of 3. And this is ridiculously hard to do anything about. It's expensive. That's about all I can say. You may cast it for that. Actually, so you could do it. You may cast it for just this. If all these things are in the graveyard or exile, not in your hand, so it has ward white, blue, red, which would mean that your opponent would also be happy playing all three of those cards or more in order to play this. This could be it's flying, lifelink, and vigilance. If this is your commander, you basically win the game. Goodness. Alright. Now we get to some lands. And we're going to have units. We have a tribute land. There's a few other ones that are also called tributed lands. We'll get to them in a little bit. For each opponent, but here's the thing. This is a weird land. Your opponent can use this land. And your deck can have as many as you want. Since it's a commander, you can have as many as you want. Each opponent may use this as if it is untapped once per turn if it mails 2 lines into their exile. Alright, so I have these cards. Go over there, put it in the exile. That's pretty big. Yes. That's not the only one. I believe there's a few others. There's 2 others, I believe. Sun's Field, close enough. They can use it if it's untapped. If it's sacrifice a creature, and they can in the same thing, you can have as many as you want. Sacrifice creature, you can get extra yellow. Then you got this same thing. Red, you can add red if it's untapped. If they pay 2 life, and you can have as many as you want. The likelihood is what I plan to do when I get this, probably is more likely, is I'll probably get 4 copies of each, and I can have as many of those as I want. Just make it reasonable. This is the one creature that's Fox. This creature is the same. It could potentially also be your commander. Alright, you contribute X. When you tribute a creature, you place a 1/1 counter on it. So it's already going to be insane as you go along. It has trample and lifelink. Goodness, you're going to get a lot of life and you're going to have a whole lot of stuff. If you tribute this creature, then you place X 1/1 counters and it gains Shroud permanently. Can't be targeted. So all you have to do is tribute 1 creature. Or gets X 1/1 counters actually. So you can tribute as many creatures as you want and gets an extra 1/1 counter. And it has Shroud. Make this creature even more insane. Why don't we do that? Alright, let's see. Next one here. We got Phoenix Payments. There are a few cards that are enchantments in this set that are tribute based. At the beginning of each opponent's turn, that player opponent chooses 1. They can choose any of them. Exile top card of the library. Pay 2 life. Each other player gets a 0/4 Ox with double strike. Or creatures you control are -1/-0 to end of turn. And honestly, this is kind of a choice thing. They could choose whatever they want. Any one of those things. If they want to have a lot of life, they could choose life. If they have a lot of cards in their deck, left, then they could choose to use a land. They could just exile top card of the library. Or they can give me a double strike creature for an extra blocker. Probably, most likely, what they're going to choose is going to be creatures you control -1/-1 until the end of the turn, unless they have really cheap creatures. Land loyalty. In order to use the loyalty abilities of this, here's the other emblem for this. That's what it is. It's this other emblem. In order to use the abilities of cleaning lands, you must sacrifice a creature. You may tap a blue land and create a 2/2 spirit. And there are some blue lands in this deck, so. Alright. Flaming Angel. I thought I already did use that picture, but maybe I didn't. You contribute a creature and it has flying, haste, and first strike. And if you tribute Flaming Angel or another creature, or another creatures, it's creature, add 3 red mana to your mana pool. So you can play spells for free with this card. It's uncommon. Got land tribute. You can sacrifice a land, and you can search your library for 3 basic lands. Put 2 of them on the battlefield tapped, and the other one in your hand. Good grief. Talk about, I'm going to basically make sure you can't have any lands. I'm just going to gain 3, and this could be a turn 1 play. Angel of Light, okay. Tribute X. Good grief. So you can pay 5 plus Tribute X. So if you sacrifice 10 creatures, I also need to fix this. Oh no. I will fix that later. Because it should be a creature. It should be a creature, and it should be a 0/0 creature that says, when you tribute Angel Life, place 2 encounters for each creature you control that says that you sacrificed it with. So if you sacrifice 1 creature, you get 2. Sacrifice 2, you get 4, and so on. Alright, next one here we got. Prepare for sacrifice. Prepare yourself, dear sir. It's a tribute. Sacrifice creature you control and deal X damage to all creatures target opponent controls, where X is the creature's power of the creature sacrificed. Nice. Demon Life is 6/3/2 lifelink and flying. Wow, I don't know why it's so expensive. And again, if you guys have any ideas for magic sets I could do or can make, go ahead and you can go and tell me in the comments down below. If you think any of these things are really too powerful, or let me know as well. Angel Sword. Okay, we got 3 or 4 equipment cards in this set. They're all like this. You can pay 3 white, or you can pay 1, or you can tribute 1 white creature. If you do, and here's the thing, you could equip it for 3. But if you do that, guess what it does? Absolutely nothing except it gives it flying, in this case. It gets +1, but it gets X plus 0, where X is the tribute creature's power and the Y is the toughness. That's one of them. There's 2 others, I think. There might be 3. Demon Sword. It gets +1 plus 0. It has double strike. And the same things, in fact, are exactly the same thing happens. You can tribute a red creature instead. Bird Daggers. Same thing. You can have up to 2 bird daggers on the field at a time. So it's not really legendary if you want to do it that way. And it has +0/+X, and has hexproof. I think there might be one more legendary creature. One more legendary enchantment. Yeah. Gosh. So, this is ridiculous. Alright? And I actually need to cards kind of need to be edited a little bit. So this should be pay 4 or tribute 2, white or blue or red. So you need to do 2 of each of those. And equipment creature gets +X/+0, where X is the creature's power, and and Y is the toughness. And it has flying, hexproof, and double strike. You basically just won the game if you can get this card out. It takes a lot to get equipped. Phoenix Tribute. Static Tribute, a red creature. And you can return a creature with X power or less. It has to be a red creature. I think there's several like this, though. Owl Girl. Oh, yeah, it's a tribute. You can create X 1/1 owl creatures with flying, and they have pay 1, tap a creature, where X is the power plus the toughness. And you can cast this from your graveyard by paying a minimum of 5 mana. It gets more expensive as we go along. I think I have Owl somewhere on here, but I don't know if I do it. Yeah, here it is. Flying 1, tap a creature. Tap a creature. You can tap a creature with that. Indecent for it. Alright. So officially, this card could be your commander. If you wanted it to be. Because it is 3 colors. It's a legendary creature. Cost 0. And its cost is 0. And it's not affected by cost increased. Gosh. That's a lot. It has Tribute X, which means you can sacrifice a creature. The only difference is it has Tribute X. I believe also, if I go back to this I can change this one. Snow Owl's effect would be a 0/0. If I can go to Snow Owl. Let me get the. Did I do? Alright. Oops. Not quite. It's a 0/1 creature. It's a 0/1 creature. It costs 0, and I'll make this a small text because I realized I needed to do it that way. So its cost, it can't be Tribute X. Basically, it's you pay whatever creatures you want to do. The only thing is, it is a 0/1 creature that you contribute as many creatures you want. It has Flying Defender unless you have all 3 manas, and it has flying. So. You've got a lot of power with that card. Could be a really good commander. I don't know how good it would be. again, I forgot to go back to the thing. And put it back to, I think. There's 72 cards in here. We're actually pretty close to the end here. Alright, next one is Warrior of the Gods. It's now apparently favorited. This is a little weird. It's a Planeswalker that can be your commander. Here's how it works. You do not. It's not a tribute creature, so you can. It's not a tribute Planeswalker. You can. Yeah, it can be your commander, and you can create a 4/4 owl with hands with +3, flying and haste. My goodness, why did I make it so powerful? But you roll die. I don't have the die with me. But you roll a die, and something happens for -2. Either you can draw a card to -2. You can create a copy of an artifact, a legendary that loses legendary, or you can create a 4/4 random face. So you got some creatures, and these creatures can be used to power up. And then we have all power. We have an owl, which is flying and haste. Talk about ridiculous. And then we got healing tribute. You sacrifice a creature, you get X life, and you can recast it using the effect called recast. Basically means you can play it for one more than X every time you play it. So you can sacrifice a creature. So basically you can constantly just gain less life if you wanted to. It costs you 1, so eventually you're gonna run out of mana every time you use it. I think there's one more, if I remember correctly. Angel. Oh yeah, I forgot. There's 4. Cards here. These are all tributed to land. These are not basic lands. They're just regular lands. Here's how it works. You can pay 1 to add 1 mana. Yes, but whenever you tribute an angel, you get 1 either white or red mana to your mana pool if you tribute an angel. The same thing really occurs, and these are all basically the same. Bird Temple's the same. The only difference is you can search your library for a bird or owl, or yours Angel Temple. You can search for a angel, and this one, Demon Temple, is you can when a demon or devil is tributed, add 1 red to your mana pool, and you can search for a demon or devil. I don't think there's actually any devils in this deck, in this set. And finally, we got the most powerful card in this set. It is the Temple of Tribute. Whenever you tribute a creature, you get to play a tribute counter on this card. You can remove X, and then place X 1 counters among the creatures you control. Then tap all the creatures. Tap all creatures with one or more wound counters on them. So it kind of hurts you afterwards, but you can really power up yourself. And you can just keep one to block or whatever you need to do. That is the last one for the tribute. And just to give you guys a kind of a basis of what this deck looks like in terms of color. Let me get it here. There are 34 commons, there's 17 uncommons, 18 rares, and 9 mythics. And there are 20, 18, there's no blacks, there's no... At 20, there's 16 gold cards, and there's 2 colorless. And the colorless cards are, I think, probably the tributes. It's probably this tribute card. I think that's considered colorless. And the Snow Owl is probably considered colors too, although it's officially all 3 colors. That is really all it's going to be for this stream. Tomorrow, I will be doing Wizard 1 Balance, or it would be Thursday 8-3, 8-4. Tomorrow's today, 8-3, and that will be what tomorrow's says, and it will be continuing Wizard 1 Balance School, which is episode 6. So thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys in the next video. Don't forget to keep the game on, and if you haven't hit that like button or subscribe button, I would really appreciate it if you would do so. No, not requiring it, just yes. Thank you guys for watching, and don't forget guys to keep your game on.